taste buds. We are making fried dumplings today, buttermilk fried dumplings. Here we have the list of ingredients. So flour, our butter, sugar, and our buttermilk, and baking powder. We also have some salt. Let's start by measuring 2 cups of flour and adding this to our bowl. And buttermilk is not one of those ingredients that we normally use when making Jamaican style fried dumplings, and so we're really stepping out of the box as usual. Our motto is turn your hand and make fashion. Okay, so now you want to start adding the rest of your dried ingredients, and the first thing I'm going to add is my baking powder, and I'm using maybe about half of a tablespoon of baking powder or a little bit less. You use the amount that makes you comfortable, remembering that the more baking powder you add is the more your flour will rise. But make yourself comfortable with the amount that you want to add. Then I'm going to add some sugar. Now, a lot of folks may not add sugar to their fried dumpling, but I find that for me and for my family, sugar is nice. So we're using about 2 tablespoons of sugar, and it's not heaping tablespoons. 2 simple tablespoons. You can add less or more depending on your taste. Then we're going to add some salt. And we're just adding a small amount of salt. Again, all of this addition is based on your taste. So we're looking at about a teaspoon of salt or less. Now you want to add some butter, and we use butter because we find that with the butter it makes for a more flaky crust. The flour, the dough becomes a little bit more flaky, so we allow the butter to reach to room temperature as close as possible, and then you're gonna add the butter, and the butter is maybe about 3 or 4 little pieces of butter. I can't measure. Now we're adding our buttermilk, and buttermilk is one of those ingredients that does add to the dough and makes it fluffy, makes it very airy, almost like a cake consistency. As I said, I've never done it like this before, but we're gonna try to step out of the box a little bit. So we're adding maybe about a 1/4 cup of, or maybe less, of buttermilk to start, and then we'll see how it goes. So you want to stir in your ingredients, mix in your butter a little bit, then you want to add your buttermilk and start to mix your dough. And it's important, guys, that you don't over mix your dough, and so what we're doing here is just trying to get the flour to come together, get the ingredients to come together a little bit, and then we will add more as it's necessary. We don't want to spoil the dough, so as you can see, we're adding water just a little bit at a time until it gets to the place where we can actually knead the dough with our hands. Now I'm gonna be the one to knead the dough because the wifey will not use her hands to knead the dough because she have long nails. So I gotta wash my hands and come knead this dough as soon as wifey finish getting it together. So now you have it to a certain consistency where you can actually work the dough and bring it together. Now, as I said before, you don't want to overwork your dough. You want to get all the little scrapings from the bottom of the bowl, but you don't want to overwork your dough or else it will get tough. You want the dough to come together and form a nice little ball and look good and cute and everything, but you don't want to over knead. Okay, so as soon as you feel like it has become one thing, or it has come together, then you stop. All right, now I'm adding a little bit more flour to my hands just to make sure that I avoid the dough getting sticky or anything like that, and I'm just gonna work it a little bit more just to bring it together. And as soon as it becomes one piece of dough, I'm gonna stop. Okay, so now my dough has been worked. I'm taking a damp napkin and I'm just gonna put that over it and allow it to rise a little bit. Now to go with my dough, my dumplings, I have some sausage here, spinach and feta, chicken sausage, organic from Whole Foods. And I also have some sun-dried tomato in olive oil. And I'm gonna just do a quick, saute of this sausage, make something nice to go with my dumplings. So here I have my sausage in some olive oil. I'm adding the roasted tomato, our dried tomato, and you just want to brown this or saute this right quick, and then we're gonna add some more stuff. I have here I have a Vidalia onion. I'm gonna slice this into a couple pieces and add this. And remember guys, you can put whatever meat kind you want to use with your dumplings. That's up to you. I'm just doing this for our sake to have for breakfast. So I'm adding a little bit of onion, sweet onion, and I'm just doing, as I said, a quick stir fry. Nothing too long and nothing too flamboyant or ambitious. All right, I'm adding a little bit of tomato here, and we're just gonna get some nice movements going on. Here I'm adding some green seasoning, and green seasoning is vital guys for to cook it down and get a little gravy and stuff. And I am adding some more craziness to this dish, so bear with me. All right, so but it looking good, it looking real nice, man, not telling a lie. And the house smells so good right now. But look at this now, I'm adding some dried mixed berries. Yes, because I want that little sweet undertone. Cranberries, blueberries, and blackberries, and raisins, all of that. You have never done this before? You need to try it. Okay, so here we have the oil for our dumpling, and make sure that your oil is at a nice consistency. And then you're gonna shape the dumplings into small balls, and I normally press the ball a little bit, or the wifey normally presses the ball a little bit, just to make sure that it doesn't, it fits nicely in the pot. So once the dough has risen, you shape them into balls, and then you're gonna add the dough, the little balls, to your frying pan with a good amount of oil. You don't want to overdo it. You don't want to deep fry it, but at the same time you don't want to not put oil in the pan. And so you put your dumplings in, and you will medium heat. Be careful of the heat, because your dumplings will brown very, very quickly, especially because they have sugar in them. And so make sure you turn your dumplings, make sure you monitor the pot, make sure you check on your heat, and reduce your heat to the point where it makes for good frying, and everything. So here is my dumplings. I'm just turning them now, and they're looking good. All right, so you want to fry your batch of dumplings, and then you want to start preparing to serve. Once your dumplings reach the desired brownness, take them out and put them on absorbent paper or hand towel, and get ready to serve your dumplings. Looking good, trust me. And they swell up nicely, them nice. Me I tell them, I can't wait. Watch the man, dumpling, they look good. And guys, here is the finished product. My fried dumplings, buttermilk fried dumplings with sausage, nicely sauteed with and presented there in the bowl. I do hope that you get to try this in your neck of the woods. Remember to check my comment box for merchandise store. Remember to comment, like, share, subscribe. And this is Taste Buds.